So this is the first in Gulfstream's Derby Prep series, culminating with the Florida Derby, and it's the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. It's an ungraded at 150K. It's the 10th race on Saturday's card at Gulfstream, and as we always have to point out, this is run at a one-turn mile as opposed to two, and this is for 3-year-olds only, the newly minted ones, and this is a pretty good race. There's a lot of different ways to go here, and I think there's some really interesting value. You'll note when you look over at the left column, there's a lot of EPs there, and so there's a lot of horses that want to do the same thing, being up near the lead. So that's important to remember. There might be a little jammed up there, and so horses maybe can lay a little bit off of that, might have an advantage. And we'll just go through them one at a time. Ever do it. The appeal is Kevin Rice more than anything else. He's notorious for bringing horses up to Saratoga at big odds and cashing. But this is Gulfstream, and this one just doesn't look fast enough. I think he probably will run a good race, but will probably be fading late. I don't expect him to factor. The next group is very interesting, and I think is where the thrust of this race is. No More Time, his last race was pretty impressive. I liked the way he finished. He drew off in pretty professional fashion. The one thing I'll say is if you watch the head-on view, he looked awful green at the start. He was kind of all over the place. So I think there's still some more maturing to do. And given that with the class test, it's a little bit of a knock, but I think you're getting nice value at 6-1. And I think No More Time could very well factor in this race. Boy Magic is a little hard to figure out. The last race, he looked completely at ease, winning it. He didn't really beat much, and he didn't blow the field away, but he also didn't look like he was taxed terribly much to do it. I don't even think they went to the whip. And the nice thing about Boy Magic is he won on the front end to start his career and then rated kindly and looked very within himself finishing. So I don't know how much left in the tank there is, but at 10-1, you get some pretty good value. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this one factored in the race. I think he's got to get a little better top end, but, he's early in his career. It's very possible he could move forward. First World War comes out of a really good race. Parchment Party, Catching Freedom, and Laganos were all in it. You're going to see the latter two in the Smarty Jones. So if that race is run prior to this one, that'll give you a good frame of reference on what to think of First World War. He rated pretty well in the last one. I thought it was his race to lose, and just couldn't hold on. Parchment Party got the better of him. It was a little quick on the front end, a little hotly contested, so perhaps that's a little bit of an excuse. This one looks to be moving forward for Brendan Walsh, and I think is a prime contender in here. Inveigled, and that is the way you pronounce it for those who don't know. The reason I say that is if you watch Inveigled's last race, Pete Aiello must have pronounced him like 3 or 4 different ways. He couldn't settle on one. Inveigled is the proper pronunciation. This one is progressing better than any of the horses in here. Class-wise, he's run at higher levels, and he's run against some good fields. He looked awful professional in his last race, and I think another step forward could put him over the top here. I would consider him to be one of the prime win candidates in here. He defeated C-Streak in the last race, who was running late. C-Streak's pedigree really doesn't scream 2 turns to me, and it was clear that stretching out, he did not run as well as he had at the shorter distances, and I think that we'll get more of the same here. I think he's an underlay at 5-1, and I'm not going to use him. I'm tossing him. Otello, I really liked. His maiden race showed a lot to me. First of all, in his first start, he won. Secondly, he had all kinds of traffic issues in the stretch, and he got bumped by a real big horse who Kendrick Carmouche sent him inside, and he didn't let that bother him at all, and he was stuck where he had to make a choice, and he split the wickets to get up and win. So it was a very impressive effort. Now, he didn't beat a whole lot, but again, I think he showed potential, And I think that with Christophe Clement as the trainer, he's very good second time starting with horses. And the fact that he did it at the distance to start here shows me that this one, I think, is really poised to run a big one and move forward. So I'd like a little better price than 3-1, but I like Otello in this spot. Orb Alpha ran in that same race with Inveigled and C Straight. It was up the track. Really doesn't have the top end, and I don't expect him to factor in this race whatsoever. So if we look at our wagering strategy, I think you could do a couple of things here. I'd like to, that's incorrect. I think we should key the 3 Otello in a key box. So it would be 3 with 4 and 6, First World War and Inveigled. Key box that, and then box again the 3 and the 6 as the most logical winners. So if we do get the 3-6 finish, we double up, or 6-3, either way. Then the trifecta, I think we want to key Otello. I think he's probably going to benefit from what will likely be some pretty contested pace with all those horses wanting to be up near the lead. So I want to key the 3 in a trifecta with 1, 2, 4, and 6. And we'll certainly hope we can get Boy Magic and No More Time up in there at the value to give for a nice trifecta. And then we'll do it. We'll do Wheel It. We'll do 3 on top with 4 and 6, with 1, 2, 4, and 6 as the most logical. Again, the premise being we can double up. And on that key trifecta, key the 3 first and second. And then we'll throw a superfecta in there too. We'll key the 3 on top with 4, 6. 1, 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 4, 6. Certainly, it's up to you. You can mix and match however you'd like. If I could definitely see if you just want to go 3, 1, 2, 4, 6 all the way across. It's a little bit more expensive ticket. I tend to like to be a little fine with superfectas. That way, you don't have a great outlay. But if you do hit it, you get a better ROI. So I think this is Otello's race to lose, but Inveigled looks awful tough as well. And First World War, I think, are the 3 best in here. But there is some value to be had, and I think there's a number of different ways to go. And I wouldn't talk you out of it if you wanted to try No More Time on top as well. But that's the way I see it. So I hope this helps you with your own wagering strategy. It's great to start the new year with a couple of pretty contentious Derby preps. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you are as well. Please like and subscribe if you like the content here. I'll be talking to you soon. And until then, be well.